this piece. I mean, beyond the technical difficult thing for you, it's nothing. I mean, you're just making everything happen so effortlessly, and most importantly, you were making music. You know, so this is a concert piece. It's not an etude anymore. It's a concert piece, and that's what it should be. That's how Liszt played it, and you really bring all these qualities there, and very perfectly balanced. I mean, you're listening to every layer. There's a continuity, and there's grace. There is brilliance when necessary, but everything is done with a musical idea and musical thought, never to a point where, you know, you just want to cater to, you know, sometimes people do that, you know, it's kind of frivolous virtuosity, and it's just very well thought out, and I'm just, I love everything that you're doing. Few suggestions now that you kind of got a feel for the piano, and we can try one more time. Again, at times where you're using una corda,
Yeah, I was assuming that.
maybe not so much or not to that degree. It's so tricky. I mean, I love the una corda too, but there are times where it gets to a point that it reduces a lot of your quality of the sound. So we don't know. Every piano has a different una corda effect and different voicing of the una corda. You may want to experience with halfway with the una corda in those places, but to a point where you get that kind of clarity. I feel there's sections where you can be more bold in the octaves, for example. You know, when you get this kind of in terms of just the intensity of the sound in the right hand, it just, I think you can open up a little more. You know, when you have this kind of octaves, every time I would play, I personally like to play them up to resonate versus this. That sound a little more interesting to carry. You know, kind of like a brass, if you're thinking of that, to project. The motion gives you power but doesn't give you resonance. So I like to feel that kind of resonance. That's something to experiment with, especially on a larger instrument like this. So let's try some of them. Let's go from the beginning on. Yeah. I mean, you get the texture of this. You don't have to be very, again, I know it's very hard to do with everything that is going, but more, yeah. That's right. And this independently, this should be always there, very, very comfortable. Like, do you practice just the melodic line?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
The crossover, to feel that kind of continuity and phrasing, and then this, just to be there. But allow the time, I mean, you're balancing it so well, but always allow the time that you can really get that kind of sonority out in the air. All of these give a little more sound. It's not so much more volume. The sound, because it's very fast, sometimes in transition you snap it, but you're not getting the sound anymore. So you have time. I mean, there's no problem for you to manipulate all these arpeggios. You're doing it with such ease. So I think you can really feel that. That's right. Change before the A major. So, and change the sound. So I will keep a little more. That's right. So then the actual contrast can occur. Okay, so now can you have a deeper voice there? In terms of this energy, when you build this, decide what you want to do with the right hand. I feel like the arpeggios are pushing you so much that I feel you're strained there. So how do you want to pace it? How do you want to voice that? Think of that right hand. You need a little more time and you can stretch it a little more. If you get too high, you're getting speed, but you're not getting sound. So. Which, it's not going to have that kind of punch. So you can have more sound. Don't be everything that is going on. You have got so much texture. So this voice is not easy with the French horns to get. So get a little more. That's right. Yes, that's right. Always think that there is a imaginary crescendo going up. So just it makes it more sweeping, more directional that way. You're operating on so many levels. On one level, you're operating with the brass, but then you're operating with this huge, brilliant arpeggio. So you can do it. I mean, for you, it's I use as a trick a little bit arm weight, yeah. That's right. So think about if you're initiating it from the top. That's right. Towards the thumb. Yeah. Again, this is a tough register.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to juice up the thumb a little more. Because with the full pedal, with everything that is going on, you're getting a lot of volume, but you're not getting distinction of the sound. So you can really change that just by the placement. That's right. Good, excellent. Yeah, yeah. So you kind of work on that. It's again, it will depend. On a 9-foot, you get much more of here. On a smaller, you're not going to get this kind of bass line, so you're not going to have to work as hard. It's just different, but you have to be able to adjust immediately in real time to wherever you are, because chances are you're always going to be playing in a different space, and a different piano. So that's something I think it works much better. I love the cadenza. I mean, so perfectly timed and the way you got into that. Can we try the sotto voce one more time? You can go directly here. Personally, I think here you can be a little more later in terms of the energy. Doesn't have to push with as much, drive. Just a little sit back. Reflect on the sound. Yeah, because if you cut so abruptly, you're coming out of this long texture, and all of a sudden you get this, almost feels like unrelated to what happened prior to that. So shift it, but do it a little more transitional. Yeah. And catch the B sharp on the top. That's right. Otherwise, it's a full cut, and then you're starting. It just really doesn't work as well. Okay, so try this. This was really good on the return. Really excellent. So, yeah, I really love what you did there. I wanted to do the ending one more time. Could we pick it up from here? Could we try this without una corda? Okay. Again, it's a personal thing. You don't have to do it. You can try. I feel in this register with you get more quality without it. You know, and especially on that computer, it doesn't change as much. Everyone will be different. So trust your fingers here. I think you can really get still the quality of sound you're pursuing, but a lot of this almost sounds artificial if it's too much with the owner. I mean, again, that's just a question of balance. Carry on, please. What I wanted to ask you is to feel still there is a movement into this. I felt like the way you play them too static and like in the B minor sonata you have this chord. They cannot just be chords per se. So think of, you don't have to rise in sound, but I feel there is intensity. There is no resolution really. So it still continues to push. Does a lot of that, later to rise, Yeah. And the different has to be glorious. Time it, and don't rush into the descent. That's right. And slightly on the last F. Pianist. Think about this ending, okay?